What's up? What's good? The Wolf is here with a you seen it title graphics comparison video, and I just wanted to take what I always find to be one of the best looking games out. Is always Final Fantasy. Whoever is making Final Fantasy, at the time on whatever generation of console, it's always the best looking game, even way back in the '90s when it was out. So yeah, we are here, Final Fantasy 15. We got the Platinum demo, and I got both the Xbox One and the PS4. So there's always fan wars going on about which console is better, and there's always arguments going on oh, this one has the hardware, and I like play the games with my friends on this other one, and the PS4 does seem to have a pretty strong fan base when it comes to people liking it, the way the dashboard is set up and everything. So I really just wanted to take a really in-depth, close look at graphics on both systems using, probably one of the best looking games that I've seen so far that I had for both systems. The first thing that I will say right off the bat is I do think the Xbox One, it's got a little bit brighter contrast, I guess you want to say. So like the darkness on the games is not quite as dark as the PS4, but it's so small that when you're in the game, like if you're at a loading screen where the screen is totally black in the background, you can see it. When you're in the game, you can't really see it, as you'll see in this graphics comparison. You can kind of see it on the screen right there too. Two different shades of black. So demo starts off waking up, in the dream, or not waking up, I guess, coming to in the dream world, and it pretty much does actually look very, very similar, very, very close. To me, there might be the ever slightest color edge on the PS4. And a lot of times the comparison videos come down to your setup too. I know that, and whether or not the videos are tinkered or whatever. I'm telling you right now, I didn't do any color corrections or anything like that on this video. I just straight up set up the consoles, pushed out the demo on both of them, played it as close as I could to one another, and did the thing like that. So, I mean, we're not seeing too much particle effects or anything. Lighting looks pretty much the exact same. We got some little, shining, I guess those are fireflies, whatnot in the background. So, jumping right off. Once again, like I said, I'm pretty sure particles they look very, very similar. So here, okay, this moment is going to be a really good one to see. Again, it looks pretty much the same. Like, I never gotten the big thing about, the console wars myself. I do know, certain things on both consoles are actually pretty cool. So, I mean, even right here, you can see the texturing and everything. There might be a slight more colors on the PS4. Other than that, it's like the Xbox One still delivers just, pretty much just as good. We are in a really grayed out area too, so this is more or less like shadowing and stuff. Which, once again, like I said, I think the PS4 maybe has like a shade more of shadowing. It's almost not even noticeable, especially when you're like in the game and you got everything flying at you and you're reading stuff and everything. So yeah, the inventory system. One thing I will give PS4 credit on is load times. I have noticed that the PS4 did load at least this demo in this game and everything. Final Fantasy 15 loaded up probably, I want to say 2 to 3 seconds faster than the Xbox One. Not a huge difference, but it was definitely like when I was doing the video editing, I was noticing it. Not so much late in the game, but when I was video editing, I definitely noticed it a little bit. So yeah, I mean, you got that flying out of there. It's the same. Yeah, it's the same particle effects and everything. I really tried to copy both playthroughs the same way. Like I said, this is where it might get a little bit off. Well, no, I guess it does. I did line it up pretty decent right there. The water effects too, I mean, you can see pretty much the same water effects on both. They do both look pretty well the same. You'll see me run through the water on both sides. So it's a little bit of ripples in the water and everything. Maybe a possible slight edge on the PS4, just a little bit more texturing in the ripples of the water. Not too greatly improved, but maybe just slightly visible. And like I said, again, it's just this is just straight up gameplay taken from the game and then put into this video, put side by side and whatnot. So you'll see the load times right here. and that right there, I just actually I think it was a video cut, my bad, right there, of where I just cut the video trying to cut down the load times, so you're not just looking at a loading screen. And I tried to match up these two, so so we get into a little bit more of lighting situations once again, and particle effects and all that good stuff. When when you got your little dog, your little doggy there, giving you the item and all that stuff. I only captured on one screen, my bad on that one. So getting the gems. I mean, you can see it's mostly okay. The transition right here, it looks pretty much the same to me, other than the color of the truck is different, of course. The texture on your dog. Or I don't know, what is that thing? I keep calling it a dog, but I don't even know if it's actually called a dog in the game or not. Anyways, everything, like the texturing and all that stuff, it looks pretty much the exact same. I don't see any, really stand out big difference in between the two. I was trying to stay away from getting engagements on this video too, just so I could keep the until the last boss fight. If you played the demo, you know what I'm talking about. I just tried to keep this running part right here until the boss fight, just as straightforward as possible, so I can keep the two scenes more or less in sync. As you're seeing, once again, it's maybe the PS4. The only thing it might do differently than the Xbox in this game is it might have like I said, the blacks are a little bit more darker on the PS4 at times, and that might result in the game looking a little tiny bit deeper, but it takes away from the color also at the same time, where the Xbox One kind of colors kind of flow out of the game a little bit more. But again, right here now it's like a little bit of a foggy, rainy situation. Both games look the exact same. I'm not seeing anything, totally different. They're like in the game load time, like when you're running from one area to the next, if there's not a load screen, I think both systems run pretty much the exact same. It's like when you're in the load screen, that's where PS4 loads up just, like I said, like 3 seconds faster or something. If you are absolutely OCD on the timer, maybe, that might mean a whole lot, but other than that, yeah. So the next, when we get to the boss fight, I actually wanted to switch it up a bit and put it full screen side by side. So you'll see exactly how I did that. The boss fight is where I was really looking for textures, like if one system was pushing out a little bit more details and whatnot. Again, this is all nerdy stuff, man. But if you're playing hundreds of hours on the system, yeah, you tend to notice things like that. You tend to really get into the details of like what the games look like and stuff. So again, lighting, I think the lighting is the same. It's just that the colors kind of pop a little more in the Xbox One. I think that's maybe the biggest difference that I really see textures wise. Like I said, once again, if you look at the boss, the bluish grayish of the boss is a little bit more deeper on the PS4, but then the light blues and like the gold that's on the boss, that pops a lot more in the Xbox One. So it's one of those situations where I wish both systems were like combined into one and did the best thing of both systems, you know. So this is where I'm going to pop it into. Yes, it's a little bit squished on both sides, but I really wanted to get that full screen experience. 2 different boss fights. They're about the same length. You can see just different particle effects and everything on both sides of the screen, where, you know, I'm running and jumping and trying to dodge and everything. PS4 was it's a little less gameplay technical because it's a tad bit newer at the game when I was recording that, but you know, it's the same you know, scene that you're seeing anyways happening. See, now here we go. Okay, so the first one where the boss looked a little bit more deeper in color was technically a cutscene still. It was rendered in the game, but it's technically, I guess, still a cutscene, and that's where, you know, the colors kind of differentiate a little bit. But now that we're in the game, both systems are pretty much running the same. Like, I don't see a lot different, like, even in the colors wise and everything. It doesn't really seem like either system is really outdoing, you know, the other system. You know, they're both really just the same. The biggest difference right now that I'm seeing, like, if I was playing these games back to back, which I actually did when I had both of the demos downloaded, the biggest thing is just a controller. You know, it's like whatever controller you're most comfortable on, that's kind of the I don't know, I want to say the deal breaker. I guess that would be the deal maker then. So you can see textures wise and everything, just, you know, they both the game. I mean, this is a really, you know, solid, cool looking game and stuff. You know, look at, I mean, like the flames that are going on the Xbox One version right there. And that, and then like whenever like you know, zoom across the screen, teleport, whatever you want to call it, you know, you have the little particle effects. And right here specifically, when the boss goes down, you see all the little, you know, what do you want to call it, the little spirit particles or whatever flying off the boss. It's pretty much the, you know, there's not like 1,000 more particles going on one side or anything. It's mostly all the same. So with that playthrough, checking all that stuff out. Oh, this was a really cool one too. When you see the render going across, you know, laying effects and all that stuff, it's, I don't see a difference. I don't know, maybe if you're absolutely dead on picky about it, maybe you're gonna say frame rate or whatever, but at the same time, I didn't really see too much in the way of, you know, all the frame stuff either picking up. They both looked like they ran very, very smooth. You know, wasn't I was actually looking when I was you know, putting all the pieces of the video together. I was looking for, you know, one to have one up on one or the other, and I didn't see it. So anyways, if you liked the video, hit that thumbs up button. You can share it around, and as always, of course, if you subscribe to the channel, it's going to make sure that you stay tuned for all new videos coming soon.